Hey everyone, what's happening? So, Arsene Wenger, the Arsenal manager, France's answer to Mr. Burns, has been chatting massive amounts of wham, biff, bollocks, if you will, talking to the press when asked about changing the mood of the fans. And because I'm ever the professional, I have got his exact quotes written down on a piece of paper. Look, we have. I won't do it. Look, we've been in a few finals. Has it changed your mood? No. You celebrate some teams who have not been in a final for 25 years, and yet you kill us, even though we've won the FA Cup. The FA Cup 3 years in the last four, or 3 times in the last 4 years, to give the exact quote. To change the mood of the fans, I have no illusions at all. I'm slipping back into it, but it's fine. You have to earn your right to play. To change the mood of the fans, I have no illusions at all. The mood is decided by you, meaning the press. So basically, Arsene Wenger has said the reason Arsenal fans are pissed off with them and they're not happy with Arsenal and where Arsenal are going is because the press have told them to be unhappy with them. No, that's not why the fans are pissed off with you, Arsene. It's because of the lowered expectations of your football club in the last decade. No one is going to take away from Arsene Wenger the great times and the great football that he's brought in the first half of his Arsenal career. Some of the players that he brought to the Premier League, look, you would have to be dead inside to not be able to gain some appreciation of looking at that Arsenal side at the time, looking at the likes of Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira and Marc Overmars and Dennis Bergkamp, even though I don't think he signed Dennis Bergkamp, but that's beside the point. Some great football, helped to revolutionise football in the Premier League, helped to modernise it, made, passing possession play, made sexy football a thing rather than the, English football, I think people forget, was very, very agricultural at the time. We still see the remnants of that in your Sam Allardyces and your Pardew's and your Pulises and what have you. But, football was very much predominantly like that prior to Wenger. But this notion that people are kicking off because the press have told them that, mate, Arsene, friend, and mon ami, bollocks, mate. Absolute bollocks. Total and utter bollocks. Interesting to know, people watching, comment below, who is he talking about when he says people haven't made a final in 25 years? Everton? Is he talking about Everton? Is he kicking Everton while they're down? Is that what he's doing? Are you kicking Everton, Arsene? Are you kicking them in the face? Because that's not cool, mate. That's not cool. No, but this is total and utter bullshit from Arsene Wenger. The fans are pissed off because what Arsenal have done is they've settled into a pattern. Look, it became a little bit of a joke. Arsenal finished from 4th. They didn't always finish 4th. Sometimes they finished 2nd. Sometimes they finished 3rd. And more recently, they finished outside the top 4. And that's the problem, is that I think he's still clinging on to this notion that Arsenal's points tally from last season, almost, 9 times out of 10, gets them a place in the top 4 and in the Champions League. So he's still doing his job. He's still getting to his prerequisite points tally. And maybe that's the objectives that have been set. And maybe he's been in charge for too long. It's like these fellas and women who've just been single for too long and they get too old and they've been living alone and they're too set in their ways and they become a bit weird as a result of it and they become very used to their way being the right way because there's been no one there to go, shut up, you dickhead, which is what happens when you've got a long-term relationship where you're married. Shut up, you dickhead, go and pick your clothes up. Not that happens in ours. Anyway, but yeah, I just think he's fit. As if we didn't know Arsene was slowly losing the plot. Here's the thing. Fans are getting pissed off because for a club that's got, one of the best stadiums in Europe, they've got one of the best turnovers in football. They've got, or at least have had, some very, very good players in that team. I know Alexis Sanchez just gone, but they've had him. He's been there. The Mesut Ozils, the Petr Cechs of this world, guys who had the ability to play at the very top end of football. To not deliver more with that and to have that happen season on season, to have your expectation and also just to suffer the slings and arrows of opposition fans when you go into a season looking for optimism. Look, I get it. I want to see Liverpool be at the top. I want to see Liverpool win Premier League titles, and it's been 28 years since Liverpool, since I've seen with my own eyes Liverpool do that. That's upsetting. That's really annoying. But Liverpool haven't, for a spell of that, whether it was through mismanagement or on an ownership level, or just in terms of the people that we had on the pitch, quality of people that we had on the pitch and quality in the dugout as well, haven't been able to compete. He's been like a death of a thousand cuts for Arsenal fans, because it's the same guy who delivered that success, and it's been a lot of diminishing returns throughout his career. They've just been, I mean, look, they've not collapsed, they're not in relegation fights, they're not like they've done Leeds United. But look, it's not the press's fault. The press are there to report on the mood of and the feeling of people around that. And when you've got people protesting outside of your football ground, I think it's one thing for people to fly shitty plane banners, to be super passive aggressive and start. I've got on record about how much I hate hashtags and stuff. Protest needs to be physical. It needs to be personal. It deserves the respect when you get people off the couches, because it doesn't happen. People don't protest anymore. We live in a culture that makes people feel, demonizes people who step up and protest and get on picket lines and what have you. Whereas it takes bollocks to go and put your face out there, to go and physically put yourself on the line, to face up to the world and face up to public scrutiny in your opinions on stuff. So it's crazy, and I'm sure for Arsenal fans absolutely maddening that he is so deluded at this point that he doesn't recognise that the fans' concerns are genuine. And when he's starting to have a pop at other clubs as well, like people like other clubs, people are bored of your Arsene, they're bored of your bullshit, they're bored of your lies, and they're bored of your inability to deliver satisfaction to your own fan base. If you think FA Cups are good enough, I'd love an FA Cup. FA Cups are fine, but for a football club of that size and that magnitude, big pieces of silverware should be a base level expectation. Not every season, the league's ridiculously competitive. You've got 5 or 6 teams, I think, good enough to be the top club at any given season in the Premier League. But, run it close, take it down to the last day, take things down to the wire, pressure on the European front. And he's not done that. Maybe he lifts a European trophy this season in the Europa League, and maybe that would be a point for him to hold his head high and go. Will he go? Who knows? Probably not, because he's a deluded weirdo who looks a little bit like a cross between Count Duckula's butler, only thin, and Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Is that enough for Arsenal? I don't know. Arsenal fans, if you're watching, let me know below. Just my opinion anyway. Look, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I do see... When I see bullshit, I think it's fair play to call it, and I think Arsene Wenger has all kinds of bullshit freely flowing from his mouth at the moment, and I feel sorry. I genuinely do feel a bit sorry for Arsenal fans. Not so sorry that I want them to be above Liverpool on the table, just to clarify, but no, I think fans of football clubs were all the same in that regard, and we deserve better than spewed bullshit. Anyway, just my opinion on the Arsene Wenger situation, for what it's worth. If you can, subscribe to the channel, always appreciate. Love to get to 30,000 before the end of January. Football opinions, do some matchday vlogs, etc. If you like it, then do drop a subscribe on it and drop a like on the video. Nice one.